pancake parties all over the world, making pancakes from Tokyo to Africa, from New York to Brazil, and today here in Ho Chi Minh City. In October, I will come to Abidjan to share my story on TEDx, and I will talk to you through my journey and what I learned on this journey. I'm here today in Vietnam, and I'm here to show you the experience we have over here. Hello guys, how do you like the pancakes? Yeah!
Pancakes, pancakes!
See you in Abidjan. Bye. This is how my weekend looks like every single week. And this is how my world looks like. More than 40 countries. More than 200 parties. More than 1,000 people. Doing what? Eating more than 20,000 pancakes. My name is Robin, and today I want to show you how you can transform your life, lead a more unconventional life, and meet many people all over. By profession, I'm a consultant, and normally my life is very ordinary. I go to work at 9 in the morning, and if I'm lucky, I can leave before 9 in the evening. I play sports twice a week, but probably have to cancel once or twice because I have to overwork, sometimes even past 12. I want to go for a drink in the weekend with my friends, but probably have to call it an early night because I have to work the next day. My life on paper is very ordinary. However, I rejected ordinary life, decided to live very efficiently with money, pursued a more unconventional life, started living as a nomad, and decided to travel. I decided to live my life through 3 ingredients. Through milk, flour, and eggs. But for me, these are more than just 3 ingredients. For me, they are a way to connect people all over the world. Today, I want to share you with my story and why I stand over here in front of you. And I also want to adhere to the people in the audience that at this moment are not happy with their own life, that live an ordinary life, and that want to live a more extraordinary life, and to use their ingredient that they can use to start living this life. My story started 6 years ago when I was studying in Hong Kong. A good friend of mine suggested we can all cook something of our own culture. However, there was one problem. I cannot cook at all. So what I decided to do was I can make the only thing that a true Dutchman can make, which is a Dutch pancake. We are all raised with Dutch pancakes. And the evening that followed was a really enjoyable one. People felt very cozy together, the atmosphere was really nice, and people really shared the food and their culture. And what I was thinking back then was that when this event was so nice in Hong Kong, why not anywhere else in the world? In the years that followed, for me there were 3 defining moments. How I became Mr. Pancake, how I decided to internationalize the event all over the world, and how the event got famous all over the world. Oh. The first defining moment is the moment when I decided to go back to Amsterdam and to start working. I worked a lot of hours per week, and I had very little time to see my friends. So I wanted to take at least 1 evening per week to see my friends and to bring them together through pancakes. And what started off very small, with only 20 people, 20 of my friends joining the evening, grew out to a massive event. At one point in Amsterdam, there were more than 100 people joining every single week just to eat pancakes. And what for me and my friends was a real nice event, we really enjoyed it, was for my neighbors a horror. They were often knocking on my door, what's going on? They were asking me, do you have a bar license? And after the first few editions, also my local, people started calling me nicknames. So people started calling me the pancake guy or Mr. Pancake. And hence, the pancake came attached to my personality. The second defining moment is the moment when my landlord called me up and told me that I had to leave my house as he wanted to sell his apartment. Initially, I was searching for a new apartment, but then reconsidered my search and thought of my dream to live a more unconventional life. At that moment, I was thinking that I did not care too much about having my own apartment. However, I cared deeply about traveling the world, about meeting many people, and about bringing them together. So what I decided to do was not to rent a new apartment, but to actually invest my salary in travels. And I've done so since that moment, living my life as a nomad for the past 1,000 days, not having my own place, but living from city to city almost every weekend. And in the years that followed, for me there were many funny international pancake practices. For example, here in Jakarta, where people enjoyed the pancakes so much and their company so much that people put on more than 10 different toppings just on one pancake. I made a sweet pancake, and they put on salty toppings, sour toppings, sweet toppings. And what for me was not necessarily the most enjoyable pancake, was for them a true delicacy. The third defining moment, is the moment when one Dutch newspaper, 1 year ago, started covering the event. People in the Netherlands love Dutch pancakes. So when people in the Netherlands found out that people in Tokyo, or in Brazil, or in Africa were eating our Dutch pancake, people got very curious. Who is this guy? What is this kind of event? And how does he spread the Dutch pancake? So it was not surprising that when one Dutch newspaper started covering the event, in the days that followed, and even the hours that followed, there were many radio stations, newspapers, and even TV programs calling me up whether they could interview me and find out more about who I was and what was the event about. And this press coverage really has made the event grow even further, and also led me organizing from at people's places, at people's apartments, to really in bars, hostels, and more professional places. So now we know the history about why I'm standing here and how it got so quickly, grew so quickly. I actually started wondering, which were the factors that actually made this event grow so quickly? And for some reasons, it's very simple. Cooking together is fun. Meeting a lot of international people, all at one place, is also fun. And even better, it's all for free. And when thinking about it further, the fact that this involves pancakes makes people think, or makes people have very positive memories about their youth. So when people eat pancakes, it brings a lot of positivity in the room, and people are very happy to share. And the fact that it's a pop-up event, and people have no idea what to expect, it makes them very curious for the event and also very curious to meet strangers. And it makes them even so open to meet strangers that sometimes they're willing to eat a pancake off each other's head. And I can assure you, this pancake was also very delicious, so no problem on that side. And besides that people meet over pancakes, they even fall in love over pancakes. On this picture, you can see the picture of Katie from Vietnam and Paul from Netherlands. Paul and Katie are from very different countries, and they are from very different cultures. And if it was not for the pancakes, they would have otherwise never met. But luckily they did meet, just more than 2 years ago, and they used the pancake events in different cities as a way to see each other, as a way to share their love, but also as a way to meet many more people during their travels. And luckily, as of the day of today, they are still together, and they are now figuring out a way how they can live together in one place. And besides Katie and Paul, many more people have found each other during the pancake events. And also, many more people have decided to travel quite far distances just to eat a Dutch pancake. Some people even travel very regularly, more than 2 hours, just to join an edition. So then, bring the story back to you. Because you're probably wondering, how can anyone pursue a more unconventional life? Because when you look at this presentation, and when you look at all the editions, and all the people that I've met on this journey, it may seem very daunting, and it may seem very overwhelming to also start pursuing your own event. But I'm very convinced that it does not matter whether you decide to start organizing your own events, such as Dutch pancake parties, or such as gardening events, or wine tastings, or anything more local here in Ivory Coast. Or it does not matter whether you want to live your life in a different unconventional way, such as through very intensive volunteering or very intensive traveling. I think as long as you're dedicated to whatever you pursue to do, whenever you can and are able to excite people all over, and whenever you can make smart trade-offs in time and also in money, I think you can make any conventional life a success. And one person that has shown that she decided to make her life a bit more unconventional than it was before was Katie from Vietnam that I showed to you earlier. Katie is an au pair in Denmark and does not live with much money. But still, she decided to transform her life and to chase her dream of traveling around with the money she had, decided to give her flavor to the event and organized Vietnamese spring roll events, and has now done so in more than 10 countries and more than 15 editions. And I believe that if Katie could do this, I think many more people can do it. But I'm not saying it's very easy. Also, I have known disappointment and setbacks. For example, there was one moment where I was stranded on an airport in Milan. My flight was cancelled. I did have nowhere to sleep. And there were more than 100 people waiting for a pancake party. At that moment, I seriously reconsidered my dream of pursuing an unconventional life and traveling around. At that moment, I thought of returning back to a more ordinary life. And despite these moments of setbacks and disappointment, there were always many more moments that actually made me continue to pursue the dream that I have. There were many moments that people suddenly called me up. Robin, I loved your pancake party in my city. Can you please come back? Or moments when bars or hostels called me up and said, Robin, when are you finally coming to this city or this city? It was always these moments that made me continue what I do, and it gave me the energy to pursue. So then, to conclude, in my life, I chose 3 simple ingredients to pursue my dream of an unconventional life: milk, flour, and eggs. And I want to ask you, if you feel that you want to live a more unconventional life, then which ingredients will you use to shape your life? Thank you.